Hi, my name is Masha, I'm the coding blonde, and this is the third part of the video about girls in tech. Today, for all of you who are learning how to code, they will give some invaluable advice. So,
for everyone who's learning how to code, I have a few recommendations. Don't give up, and there's always an answer. So keep on going. You can build whatever you want that there is. And really, if you have any questions at all, there's always someone there to help you out, whether it's someone on Instagram or Facebook. Use social media to really have someone show you the way and ask for their experience so that you can learn their lessons and learn how to code quickly.
So what I would recommend is learn by yourself as much as you can. I think this has such a strong impact on your own confidence, which is a real game changer, I think, because you have to be confident in yourself to really exceed and achieve your possibilities, what you can do.
I have a lot of answers to this question, so I wrote them down. So if you see me going like this, it's because I'm looking at my list because I don't want to miss anything. But I know my first one, which is really cheesy, so I'm just going to get it out of the way. Something that I would recommend is just to believe in yourself. I know it's cheesy, but it's true. You know, in computer science, or like when you're learning to code, you're gonna have bugs, you're gonna have red errors in your console, and you're gonna have moments where you feel like, what is happening in this code? And that's fine. It happens to everybody. We all have bugs and late nights, and you know, don't think that that means that this isn't meant for you. It's just part of it, and it's a challenge to work through, and just think of yourself conquering the bug or getting rid of that error in the console, and believe in yourself to do that. And if you're feeling particularly discouraged, then feel free to look at my Instagram account. There's plenty of photos there of me with faces like this because I'm facing a bug. So it happens to everybody, and you just gotta believe in yourself. And then my second piece of advice is find people who you can code with and learn with. And I really believe in this. There's a concept called developer ducky, which is basically sometimes you're gonna be, battling a problem, and it's only when you get to talk to somebody else and explain it to them that you, or in talking and explaining it to somebody else, you can realize the answer. And that concept is called developer ducky, and it's just like sometimes you need to talk it out to somebody who has context. And that's the reason why it's helpful to have somebody to code with, and also it's just good to have people to share ideas with, to be out there kind of in a divide and conquer mentality, somebody else to be reading articles and picking up ideas. And also, if I read an article, I might not get the same things out of it that somebody else does. So it's really interesting to have somebody with a different perspective and see what they draw from it, and then, gain another person's perspective. So I really encourage people who want to learn how to code to kind of get a coding crew. And a follow-up question I get to that often is how do I meet people who want to learn how to code and make coder friends? And my answer to that is first, go to hackathons. They're a great way to meet people who are interested in coding. That's what they're there to do. And also there's meetups out there, and other companies similar to meetups, but the idea is basically with meetups, I've been to a couple to help out and teach people, and basically a bunch of people will show up with laptops and they want to build something, and they'll all kind of set forth with that task and ask questions along the way. And it's a great way to meet people who are at your level and want to also learn and be in that community that encourages learning. So go to meetups. It's a great way to meet other coder friends. And then my next piece of advice is use the internet. It's incredible that we have this available to us.
What I'd recommend to everyone out there who's learning how to code would be to definitely make sure you have those strong fundamental skill sets down. A strong fundamental skill set is what's going to set you apart when problems become more complex. A great way to do that would be to study and utilize a resource that works best for you. There's plenty of resources online, such as websites, blogs, forums, and even right here on YouTube. Next, I'd say believe in yourself. You got it, and you can do it.
Pick one thing, so whether that be JavaScript, SAS, or front end, or back end, or databases, whatever, pick one thing and focus on it and get really good at it.
To everyone who is learning to code, I would recommend to see bugs and obstacles not as much as enemies and more as challenges you can learn from. Most important for me was actually to try out things that I learned in theory and practice as soon as possible. When I was working for a startup, for example, I learned so much because things just had to get done fast.
A very practical thing that I would recommend to anyone learning to code, and again, I'm not speaking as a professional coder, but I am speaking as a person who has coded for years of her life, is to start with something that has instant gratification built in, whether it is Arduino, whether it is processing, whether it is something that's like online, like Scratch or Codecademy. Because the most frustrating thing about, at least at university programs, is the fact that the result is just not worth the work that you put in. And if you start with a programming language where the result is there, it's visible, and it's satisfying, it's so much more exciting, and it's so much more worth it to go and follow that and continue to pursue it.
My career has been such an amazing trajectory, from someone who started writing about technology to working at a startup to starting my own company and learning how to code and creating my own website. It's really taken so many different paths. Now I'm teaching at FITM, teaching my students how to market their apps, and it's such a fun thing, kind of figuring out what's next. I think my biggest thing is starting a huge conference to get more women into tech. That's something that I'm really working on. And I'm working with a few tech companies off the record though, on some cool products as well. I hope that we can connect. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me anytime. My email is hello@techsesh.co, but if you want to go onto the blog, it's techsesh.co. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram @JessicaNaziri.
Tough question to me. I know it's always asked in job interviews, but I actually don't like to plan ahead so far. I mean, all these awesome, amazing things that happen to me right now, I can imagine them to happen like half a year ago. So I actually always try to live in the moment and just be happy and try to make the next day good. So yeah, I don't have any plans yet.
So in 5 years, I hope my blog will grow and will become a well-known resource for women in tech and blogging. I know these two types are kind of different, but those are my two big passions: blogging, marketing, and women in tech.
I have historically pursued male-dominated fields because I never looked for the easy way out. I would actually really love to become a comedian. I am taking a play called Data Night that I co-wrote with my friend Catherine Brinkworth, and it is a play about a woman who really wants a baby, but she's a feminist, so she builds a robot instead. And it is, I think, the best use of the computer science degree that my parents have financed in the 3 years since I have graduated. Data Night is a play about a woman, a computer scientist, whose boyfriend doesn't believe in her, and she defies the odds and builds the world's first sentient robot. And it has plenty of references to computer science, including the fact that the robot herself is called Alan Turing.
I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you think in the comments. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I have a lot of interesting things planned for you and you don't want to miss it. And to follow Laura, Jessica, Brandy, Michaela, Julia, Marie, and Olga, you can find all the links to their profiles and their blogs in the description. Leave a comment, tell me about what you found the most inspirational, tell me about your experience in the industry, and of course, if you'd like to be featured in one of these videos, please let me know in the comments, via email, or via Instagram. I would love to hear your story. Bye!